Hey guys, back with another vegan recipe that you will not want to put down, okay? When I say delicious, I mean delicious. You gotta try this. Okay, so this is what I use. I use the young green jackfruit. I get this from the Asian market, and it's a whole can. And so what I do is I put it in my little processor, and this is the result you get because you want the texture of tuna, okay? So we blend that up. I put a little olive oil in there. And these are some of my ingredients that I'm going to put in here. So I have the seaweed sheet, and this is going to give it sort of the taste of the fishiness, right? So I got my green peppers, onions, red bell peppers, okay? I got my body of complete. Don't forget this, your nori fataki, okay? Garlic and parsley, black pepper, onion, seasoning salt. You don't want to forget your olive oil. And this is what's going to give it a kick too, guys. Throw your little fennel in there, okay? Now we're going to put this in this pan. Put us some little olive oil in there. Oh yeah, you know this pan that got used. And the reason why we do this, guys, is because if you know anything about jackfruit does not have a taste to it, okay? So this is how you're going to get your seasons for your jackfruit, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this in the pan, everything in the pan, and then I'll be back with you guys. Okay, guys, we got everything in the pan. We're going to mix it all up. And just so you guys know, I want you guys to have all the ingredients. I actually added a little of this bouillon powder. It gives it a flavor. So I did put some seasoning salt. I didn't put a lot, but I did come back and not even a teaspoon of that. My eyes not sitting right. Okay. Gotta make sure your stuff is together. Now, as you can see, this pan is kind of dry, right? And you don't want to put too much oil in it. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna add us a little bit more oil in here because we want that to absorb. And jackfruit is like a sponge. I'm gonna turn my eye down to probably here. You guys can see it. Put it on the high side, not too high. We want this to get all in here. And the reason we're doing this is we're gonna make a jackfruit tuna, okay? So we're gonna season it up real good before we let it rest. And we add our mayo, mustard, okay? And we're gonna use some relish. And we're gonna build us a jackfruit tuna, okay? So we let this cook. And guys, please, by all means, this is something that you are going to eat or your loved ones is going to eat. Please taste it. And if it does not taste good to you, it will not taste good to them, okay? If it don't taste good to you, it's not going to taste good to them. So make sure your food tastes the way that you would like for it to taste, okay? At least decent, okay? So I'm going to cook this down and then I'll be back at you. Hey guys, I'm back. Listen, I had to go back in and add a little bit more lard. Like I told you, this jackfruit is like a sponge. So you want to keep tasting it as it's cooking down. So we're not going to cook this down too long. So it's been probably about 5 minutes, 8 minutes at top. Because you still want your onions and your bell peppers to be a little crunchy. That's if you want them. I want mine to be a little crunchy to go in my little jackfruit tuna, okay? And I'm still stirring. And like I said, I had to come back and taste it. And it wasn't to my liking. But now, it's good. Y'all around here, just trust me. Taste as you go. Taste as you go. That's the key. You got to taste your food. You just putting stuff in and you ain't tasting it. And do a little bit at a time. When you season it, do a little bit at a time. If you're not good with cooking, or seasoning your food, do a little bit at a time. Season a little at a time. You hear me? Because you can always go back and add, but you can't never take away, okay? And that's the key. So this is done. We're going to take this off. We're going to put this in a bowl, okay? Now comes the second phase of making this jackfruit tuna salad. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, we're back. Check it out. We got our jackfruit tuna. Okay, now I only had a little relish, so I'm gonna use what I got. This is probably about a little under a tablespoon. You use as much as you like. I'm gonna use just what I have, but normally I would probably use like maybe 2 tablespoons of relish. Okay. And this is what I have. Plant-based Hellman's mayo. 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm using right there. Okay. So I got my nori fataki. I'm gonna shake it in here. Let me show you how much I put in there. So much I put in there. See? Okay. Now this is our seaweed sheet. Okay. All you do with the seaweed sheet, you rip that up. If you don't want to use the seaweed, don't use the seaweed. It's all your preference, okay? But for me, I want to use it because I like the taste that you get from it, you know. And it just dissolves in here, so you can pull it apart. This particular one got wet, so you know you can cut it up in the beginning. You can tear it apart like I'm tearing mine apart, you know. But make sure you tear it apart. You just can't throw the whole sheet in there, okay? Tear it apart, y'all. Tear it apart. And it don't have to be super small. Be medium. This is just for taste. This is your alternative, okay? This is what's going to give you that flavor of tuna, okay? That and your nori fataki, okay? Don't forget. That and your nori fataki. Now I'm using a whole sheet. Why am I using a whole sheet? I'm using a whole sheet for the taste, okay? Now, this is 1 can of jackfruit. 1 can of jackfruit. Now, if you are serving more people, you can always add another can. And what I do suggest is that if you would like to stretch this, you can add noodles. It could be a tuna salad. You can add tomatoes, you know. And I normally add tomatoes, but today I don't have time to add no tomatoes in there. You can add some tomatoes in there on the side or something. You know what I'm saying? You can do that on the side. Now another thing, guys, you can add cheese in yours. You can add noodles. I'm going to put a little feta in mine to kick it up a notch, okay? And what I normally do with my feta is I crumble it up. And this is, let me show you. This is Follow Your Heart feta crumbles, okay? This is what they look like. Vegan. So I'll just sprinkle some of those in there. Okay. Wash my hands off. And guys, listen, for me it's a game changer because it just literally kicks it up a notch. This is fennel. You do not want to put a lot of fennel in here. I'm going to use about that much in there. Okay? You do not want to play with fennel, okay? You don't have to use it. I use it in mine, which takes this tuna fish to a whole nother level, okay? Now, let me tell you something else that you can try. So since I didn't put the tomatoes in mine, didn't have time to cut up fresh tomatoes, this is what I do for my tuna. I use a little salsa, okay? You see it? You don't have to use this brand. You can use a Kroger brand or whatever kind of brand you want to use because it's a tomato base. And the reason why I use this, let me get me a spoon. Let me rinse it off. Again, this is going to enhance your tuna. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But this is the recipe that is going to be the game changer. So it has your green peppers, your onions, and all of that stuff already mixed up in there. You just add 1, 2 in there, okay? A little salsa in there, okay? You got to learn to live a little, okay? When it comes down to cooking, you got to learn to live a little. Meaning you got to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? You can't be afraid to do this thing, okay? And I'm thinking the way, the texture of this, some might like it like this, some might not. You might like dry tuna. I don't know a person that like dry tuna, but I think I'm going to add just a little bit more of mayo in there. So I did 2, and I'm just going to do another one. Okay? Because I like mine a little on the west side. I'm going to stir that thing up. And another thing, you most definitely want to taste it. So right now I'm going to taste. Yeah. I ain't just saying, just got a real good taste to it. You hear me? Real good taste to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to put a little pepper. You always want that little pepper in there. Put a little pepper in there. That pepper back on up in there. Okay. It is seasoned. It has a great seasoning taste to it. It got a little feta in there, which I think I'm going to add just a little bit more feta in there. That's why I say you got to taste your food. So it's to your liking. This is to my liking. Now you can tweak this however you want to tweak it, y'all. But I'm telling you, this jackfruit tuna, you are going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. I will put a little bit more nori fataki in here. This is what this looks like, nori fataki. This is what that looks like. Okay. Stir that up. Now, this is the thing. So I'll see what that look like. Now I'm going to come and hit it because I don't use sugar. I don't use honey. I'm going to hit it with a little blue agave. Little. Hear what I say? Ta-da. There we go. There we go.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why you on the dirty steps? Come on.
It's always company when you're doing something, right? When it's food. Somebody always present. People love to eat. Okay, y'all. Now listen.
Come on.
There it is. I'm going to taste it.
Come on.
Y'all. Putting that extra nori fataki in there took it up a notch. When I say you can taste them, the flavors and stuff in there, so good. You got to try this recipe, y'all. Go back from the beginning, get your ingredients, and try this. You will not regret this. Now listen, y'all can put this with noodles. When you put it with noodles, you're going to have to add some more mayo. You're going to have to add more mayo. And you're probably going to have to add a little bit more seasoning for those noodles or whatever. But you can put this, you can put it on top of a salad with the noodles. You can make a sandwich with it, however you want to do it. You can do it. But this right here is a game changer. You do not want to miss this. You got to try your jackfruit tuna. Look at that. Delicious. All right, y'all, to the next recipe. I'll holla.